decided to move on from the oil pipes because I think I could tweak at them forever and I still mightn't think they're perfectly straight. Decided to move over to trying to make a seat work. So the round tank came with a seat pan and springs, and it was really nice, you know. But it needed the pan repaired heavily, and it needed the seat completely recovered. And that's really easy to do. There's a guy that'll do it, and he's super at it. And you just got to stump the money for it. And that's okay too, you know. I think he's cheap enough for what it is. He does a good job, and I think the last one I got was $650 to repair the pan, paint the seat and the springs. And I'm looking for spring washers in case you think I'm a lunatic. There we go. To paint the pan, repair it, the springs, you know, the whole kit and caboodle. And he did a fabulous job, and there was no dramas at all. But you know what this bike's about. It's about being real and accepting some things that you're trying to trim the cost. So this is the seat off the little Vela set, or the seat that came with the Vela. Is it a Vela set seat? I don't know. So I have had this smothered in, well, first glycerin that Daryl Colt recommended from Daz's Seat Repairs. I think he supplied it. And then lately, I dragged it off the shelf again and smothered it in Dubbin, a leather restorer. Now, I painted the springs, and I did a fair job. I didn't disassemble it because I didn't want to, which is a bit pathetic, I know. But anyway, I didn't want to. And that's what I did. This should just go back on because it all came off there. And I believe there was one with a spring washer. So I'm going to put a spring washer on it, and I'm going to tighten all this up. We're going to have a look and see what it looks like on the bike. I think it's going to look really good, or I hope it is, because it was in stock, and that's always good. I don't think I'll bore you with putting nuts on and you can't see anyway. Let's come back when we pop it into the bike. And I've got this seat post from the bike, I think, in there. So we'll come back in a minute. Test fit number 1. Now, I have had that seat post in there. Let me get something to knock that in there a bit with, and we'll be right. That has bottomed out on something by the sounds of it. Now we can have the seat in one of two places. We can have it forwards or backwards. Hard to tell. A little bit crooked maybe. We need something to protect the mudguard from me mainly, and then hopefully the right size spanner. Let me find the right size spanner again. Story of my life. Boy, I know why we ended up with a couple of standardised systems of spanners and nuts and bolts. because it's a pain in the butt. Now I'm ripping all my good paint off, which is a bit of a shame. I should have said, this seat's got a flaw. And I'm going to put up with it for now. I'd like to fix it in the longer term. And the astute amongst you will notice it, and that's okay. I'll show you in a minute. I hope this isn't a video of just nut tightening, that'd be boring. That's not too bad. Keep in mind that's covered in dubbin, so it's a little bit dull and is a little bit sticky to touch. Yuck. Covered in stuff. What do we think? I think it's of the period. It could be a little bit lower, I reckon. Be interesting to see it with the bright work on it. Come and have a close look and I will show you what's wrong with it. There we go. Wide angle view. Looks the business. Here's what's wrong with it. You can see it, can't you? They're two different size springs. So it leads the seat to sit slightly crooked. It's slightly not twisted correctly, but so the seat sits slightly crooked. This spring is 3 turns bigger than the other one. I will look for the correct springs, or 2 springs that are the same size, and swap one out. Daryl may even have one that he could replace it with for me. I think the seat looks fab. I don't have any problems with it. It had a little scuff mark here that has just soaked up the leather conditioner, and I think that seat is going to be just fine. Might lower it a bit, but I'm a big man, so I'm going to call that a victory. I'm just giving the seat a little buff to remove some of the dubbin or to remove some of the excess. Because it sat in the warmth of my living room for a week, where I put coats on every day, I'd say it's at capacity for now. And the difficulty with this shed and my other one is that I do woodwork in it. So you end up with things that are an absolute mess, and I don't really want it to be. I think that looks absolutely schmick. What a victory. I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier. That's turned out really, really well. I'm really pleased. And it's at no extra cost. It wasn't free because I already had it. I'd paid for it once. It's just moving it on to something else. The pan that I have, and it has lovely springs on it, and I was going to disassemble it, and then I thought, nah, don't. It won't make anything any better. I'll leave the pan and the springs and the seat that came with this together to be one piece, and hopefully one day they'll go on something else, or it'll come back onto here. I don't really mind. Was the seat I had original? Don't know. Was this off a Velocet? No idea. The professionals know. Daryl, the seat restorer, is quite knowledgeable about seats and will possibly know what the seat was on and what sort of seat was on a round tank, and could be more accurate than I am. But I love it. Looks good.